Welcome back, everyone. It's another episode of Chatty Caveman podcast. Welcome back, Bri.
Hey, welcome back, John.
Yeah. So hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
I did.
We weren't together this year. We were at separate Thanksgivings.
That happens often.
Yeah, it does, because I tend to go away for almost all holidays. I just like to treat it as an actual vacation. Plus, the family table is always dramatic, so I like to just get away and go do whatever I can.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble. Did you do anything good on Thanksgiving?
Oh,
like the week, the weekend after or anything?
I don't even remember it anymore. It was an easy week.
Okay.
It was a nice week, and I liked the food, so it's a plus. Okay. And who played football that day?
Detroit.
Right. That was a game I watched, so that made it good.
Cowboys always play. Detroit and Cowboys always
That's
play.
Right.
The Dolphins played Green Bay.
And then on
Friday, it was a crazy Raiders and Chiefs game. When we
get
to football, we're going to go over that stuff. But
God.
we could go over that, but we'll go over football in a minute.
But that's what Thanksgiving is to me. It's food, and then hopefully you get a couple of good games you give a shit about.
All right. So on that note, we did a Thanksgiving podcast. When you were filling your plate, did you think about anything on the podcast that you were talking about? You know what? I don't need that. I don't know what kind of table you were at. I know I was at a table that had more stuff than ever. So Did you think about it when you're filling your plate? It's like, oh, I'm going to kill that off my plate? Or did you just say, no, I'm having everything?
No, I mean, I didn't think much about it except for like with the cranberry, as crappy as that is, I like the canned stuff. Like I do like to mix it with all the other things.
Well, I was at my cousin Chris's. She had more than ever. But she did listen to the podcast. And she went through everything, and she looked at everything that was left on the table, and she decided to kill 3 things for next year off the table because it was just too much stuff. She said, I said, you're working too hard. So she said, yeah. So she actually wrote down a list and made a new list. But here's the strange thing she actually decided, and I actually like it. She said she's going to serve dinner first.
Oh, because, okay.
2 hours of hanging out and having crackers and cheese and dips and chip and everything we talked about, hot hors d'oeuvres, and she makes sausage balls, all this other crazy stuff that we had, and these little toast points with blue cheese and stuff. We were stuffed before the meal even came. And then when the meal came, there was so much left over. You're like, wow. So she actually decided next year, she said she's going to do it.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea at all.
Next year, she's going to put the meal out, everything ready. Later on, she's going to serve coffee and dessert. And then at night, when everybody's relaxed, she'll put out hors d'oeuvres and chips and whatever, and that's it. And that'll be the end of the night, just people picking on stuff and whatever. And I think that's actually brilliant because we're an Irish-Italian family, but meals are Italian in our house. There's no Irish meals. There's Italian meals.
No, but you know what, though? But we don't, like, a lot of Italians will still have, like, baked ziti on Thanksgiving next to a turkey where we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. But what we do is like the Christmas Eves or the Christmases, we start eating, and eating is 8 hours. 9 hours long. The food is out. It goes away. A next thing comes out, whether it's dessert, coffee, whatever. Then that goes away. Then after that, it's sandwiches and leftovers. You want to pick on stuff. And then after that, it's another dessert or cookies or snacks or whatever, or sweets or just chocolates or anything. It's such a long period of time that you're sitting eating. You're overstuffed. By the end of the day, literally, if you went on a diet for 2 months, at the end of a meal on a holiday, you're back to square one.
And now that you mention it, because this year I went to my ex's, right, to spend with the family, and she had nothing before. Nothing. See? It was literally a bag of tortilla chips. I'm like, oh, and I went there starving. I didn't eat anything. And then dinner was like, okay, sometimes you're like, oh, you got to wait for the bird a little bit, blah, blah, blah. Waited like an hour. So like I was just sitting there waiting like, okay, when's the food going to happen? But I also was glad I didn't spoil my appetite.
That's great. But what the problem was, I had 2 hours of appetizers, and my cousin's daughter, Sarah, was the bartender. I didn't have an empty drink. I also had a couple of neutrals playing golf that morning, which golf, by the way, was insane because I've never played golf in the fog before. I teed off into the mist. It was like a horror movie. The mist is coming to you.
Yeah.
And hope I didn't hit anybody. But here's the thing. This year I did something different. I've never done it before. My cousin Chris's son wanted to have a deep fried turkey. Zach wanted a deep fried turkey.
I've never had one. I've
never had it before.
Yeah?
Never had it before. Never made it before. But Chris says, well, you cook, so I want you to do the turkey with him. But he didn't come in till late, so I basically prepped the turkey. We went out and bought the stuff the day before, got marinades, injected the turkey, did everything else. She got a cooker. We put out in the yard. We did the testing to make sure. We did everything that you're supposed to do. Read 7,000 things on the internet to try to make sure we don't blow ourselves up.
Right.
I'll never go back.
Well, you did it.
We did it.
Oh, and you'll never go back.
I'll never have a turkey again. And I'm telling you right now, Brian, you talked about dark meat turkey only because whatever.
Yeah.
White meat turkey, the juiciest thing I've ever tasted. The whole thing was amazing. We overcooked it because We thought it was a 15-pound turkey. It was a 10-pound turkey. They had 2 turkeys. They had a regular turkey and a deep fry. We just were testing this thing. I'll tell you what, the turkey cooked so fast.
How fast? It's like a joke. Come on.
Okay, how fast?
Yeah. Like
we thought it was
10-pound turkey took how long?
We overcooked it and it was 32 minutes.
Right. So that sounds fantastic.
It should have been in for 25 minutes.
All right,
the
you'll
temperature
teach me.
was up. So, yes, it's the most amazing thing ever. Next year, I think I'm going to make a duck or a goose. I'm going to try go berserk. I don't care.
What did you do it in?
We did it in a turkey cooker. We
Okay.
actually went out and bought a cooker and the propane tank we had, and we got the setup in the stand, and we put the oil in, got the temperature up to 350, which I think was too hot based on what happened, but maybe it's because it was small turkey. We had a little thing and a little like it's almost like an upside down clothes hanger that you drop down slow the turkey into. You got to make sure it's dried. You got to make sure it's thawed. You got to make sure you do all stuff. We did everything right. We started the night before. We did everything right. Had it sitting, waiting. Did it the next day.
2 turkeys.
Everybody, we had 2, a regular, whatever. The regular was good, but everybody's like, next year she's only going with deep fried turkey. She's getting a bigger turkey. She's not doing regular turkey anymore.
No, I get it. My buddy,
everybody tasted it, went, oh my God.
My buddy does it every year, and they do it. The family does it in a trash can. It's a trash can turkey.
How the heck did
I don't know. But they do it every year.
Oh, they must do it in a metal trash can. Think about
it.
it.
It's
a metal trash
of course
can.
it's a metal
Yeah,
trash can. But I don't understand how.
Trash can. I'm like, what?
I don't understand
An
how.
old school
Like,
metal trash can. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, that can't
big
like
is the
hold
turkey?
liquid. I don't know. I've never been there, but he talks about it every year, and I'm just like, oh, I hope you enjoy your turkey. So I can't wait to try one from you, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, this is something. It's a game changer for me because
Good.
I don't think I can ever go back.
Because I don't really like turkey very much, so only dark meat.
No, I don't really. Like I said, on our thing, I said I'd kill the turkey because I don't really have the turkey. But I actually had the turkey, and I was like, wow, this is something that tastes good, and I could look forward to it once a year for this. I'm not going to have deep fried turkey all the time.
Why don't people do chicken?
You know what? They do. It's called fried chicken. But
no,
but
deep fried, a whole damn thing. There's no breading.
You're right. Yeah, it came out real dark on the outside. I thought it was going to be like Christmas Vacation when he carved the turkey. The whole thing was like turkey jerky, and it was just going to like whatever.
Right.
But we couldn't believe it. But when we cut it, they went, oh my God, it's juice. Because outside would look crisp. Because once again, we had the timing way wrong.
What kind of
oil? We
oil?
were going to cook it for peanut oil. We were going to cook it for, we were going to check it at 50 minutes. And I said, you know what? It's kind of looking like it's bubbling and whatever. I said, let's just pull it up and look at it. And it was dark. And I went, oh my God, we overcooked it. So we stuck the thing in it and it was too high. The temperature was too high. And I'm like, we screwed up. Thank God she has another turkey. No, it was good. So,
nice. I'm looking forward to trying it.
I mean, that's it. They're switching from regular deep fried turkey from now on. It was delicious. Once you have it, I don't think you can go back.
What the hell is Chris listening to? Hey, Chris.
She
actually just listened to that one?
She actually listened to that one, and then she said, oh, I'm going to start listening to this.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
So, yeah. Hey,
okay.
Chris. And Joe and the rest of you, Zach, Sarah, everybody. There's a crew down there.
So they got
down
you
in
drunk,
Tampa.
too.
Yeah.
Sarah got you drunk. I'm glad I wasn't
oh, my
there.
gosh. Sarah's giving me elderflower liqueur with this. I'm like, what? She's all these fancy drinks. I'm like, listen, I had 2 neutrals. I never had them before. And I was a little late on Thanksgiving. I didn't expect it. By the time after dinner, because I was helping cook, by the time after dinner came, I was done. I was like, okay, this is enough for me because I'm not, I don't drink a lot. But I'll try anything. So send me any deep fry things that I should try and deep fry. Like Brian said, I'll try and deep fry anything. I don't know what. Like I said, I would like to try and deep fry a duck or something like that.
Yeah, why not?
But or any marinades you got to inject that bird in, because once again, I'm a newbie to this. I don't know anything about it. I'm excited because it was really good. I didn't expect it. I know the danger of it, but we learned the things to do and not to do. Make sure you got good gloves. Make sure you have the flame off when you drop that turkey in there, because if the open flame and something spills over, that's what happens. We did it good. We did it outside. We did everything safe, and it was really, really good.
Why do they blow up sometimes? It makes me think there's some sort of a pressure.
No. Here's the thing. One thing that I learned that's very important, if anybody ever tries it, I'm sure they look it up, but we put the turkey in it empty, and we filled the pot up with just water the day before and figured out the line of where the oil needs to be when the turkey's in there, and then pull the turkey out and the water line lowered.
Yeah, of course.
And that's
It's
where
remarked.
you
That's
fill the oil up before you drop the turkey in. A lot of people fill it up really high, and then when they drop the turkey in, the oil comes up to the... I'm just telling you what happens. You're laughing, but that's the truth.
I know.
You watch it on the internet, you put it down, and you got to put it down real slow. So the thing is, I was dropping it slow because it bubbles over really fast.
Yeah.
You have to dry the turkey. It has to be thawed. If there's ice, if it's still frozen at all...
Right. The water obviously
then
is
the water that's inside the turkey takes a while, and it bubbles over onto the flame, and then that's the problem.
Right.
So,
okay.
But it was one of those things. It was fantastic, an experience. I can't believe I never had it. 15 years people have been talking about this. First time I've had it. I love it. Anyway, we're going to do football now.
Yeah.
We're going to go over last week's Thanksgiving stuff. We did not pick, but we are going to do a quick overview of last week's games. I will say this: Thanksgiving Day, 3 games. First game was the Bears and the Lions. I'm very happy that the Lions won. I am telling you, they got lucky.
They actually got ripped off earlier,
and
then it was given back to them.
I don't
know if they got lucky. They actually won the fucking game, and if they would have lost the game, I would have been screaming fix.
But they won the game, so you're saying it was fixed for them to win.
I'm saying that somehow they make, you see this. You
saw
see
the bad
mistakes
call.
happen.
I saw the bad call.
But sometimes you see really bad calls, and freaking, I don't know who it was. It happened
two or three plays
Collinsworth was probably not talking on that game, was he? He was talking on a different game, maybe Monday night's game. And he even said, oh, well, you know what? I guess they made up for that bad call with that one. It happens. And I swear to God, that's what happens. Oh, shit call. Okay, well, I guess we'll give it to him. But the shit call gave the opposing team a first down when they shouldn't have.
And a chance.
And this was in the fourth quarter.
I agree. I agree with that. No. I agree with that. I do. But here's the thing. The Lions were up big. The refs didn't let the Bears back in the game. The Lions let the Bears back in the game. Here's the problem. The Lions have, I think, a dozen people that are injured on defense. Their defense is playing with second stringers and other people that they're calling up. Why? Because they're so hurt. But you can't say that. Every team has injuries. They just happen to have all their injuries on one side of the ball. It was like the Rams earlier in the year and the Niners earlier in the year when they had who are these receivers? We don't know. But they lost a lot of their key pieces on defense. The Lions won the game, and because of the way they won the game, the Chicago Bears coach got canned. How do you lose that game when you're in field goal range, even if it's a long field goal, with a timeout in your pocket?
Yeah, that was nuts.
And you see your rookie quarterback saying he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage, and you're the coach with a timeout. Just go to the ref and say timeout. I can't let the rookie quarterback do this. I have to let
you have to coach
me and my offensive coordinator decide to call the play or just say, screw it, let's kick the field goal and let's go into overtime and get a chance to win on the road in the division. And he got canned.
Between that,
it. Yeah, because they haven't won a game.
Yeah.
Since the Hail Mary passed to the Commanders, they haven't won a game. The next game was the Giants and the Cowboys. I can't believe the Giants scored 20. Cowboys scored 27. I think both teams are done anyway. So I don't think that was really a great game. I didn't watch it because I just refuse to watch the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. They usually win, and they did again. No matter what, Cowboys, you want to talk about fixed? I think that's fixed. The Dolphins 17, the Packers 30. The Dolphins, cold weather, they did it again. I think the Dolphins have only won one cold weather game in the last X amount of years. Once it's below 40. Yeah, it's just one. They're a Miami team. They're not used to going into the cold. It's one of those things.
But the players are from all over the league.
It doesn't matter. When you're practicing in a certain temperature, when you're used to living in a certain temperature, when you go to these other things, you could say whatever you want, but we're going to talk about that Bills game last week, and you can't tell me that it's not cold weather, hot weather. The next game on Friday was the Raiders at the Chiefs. Now, this game pissed me off.
I didn't see it. I was getting score updates, and it pissed me off, too, just seeing the score so close.
The Raiders 17, the Chiefs 19. The Chiefs pull out the game. The Raiders had the ball. The Raiders could have kicked a field goal to win the game. They ran a play and fumbled the ball. The Chiefs recovered. Game over. They never even got a chance. This is the second time now in 3 weeks that they should have lost, because they should have lost to Denver with the blocked field goal. They should have lost this game, and they lost to the Bills. They would have lost 3 of the last 4 weeks. Instead, the Chiefs are going to look at a first-round bye in the playoffs because their remaining schedule isn't that tough. This game this week is going to be tough, but that's it. Next game, Texans 23, the Jaguars 20. Did you see the highlights from this game? Trevor Lawrence got knocked out of the game. They say it was a cheap shot by the defender. Trevor Lawrence slid.
Oh, I
defender came in with the elbow, knocked his head out. He got knocked out.
Did he get actually knocked out of the
fully
game?
Concussed. I think he woke up.
Did it start a fight?
Yeah, huge fight.
Okay.
Sideline and everything.
So
yeah.
I saw that hit.
The offensive lineman came and said he was cheap.
Brutal.
The reason why it was brutal, you could hit, you could do whatever. You can't take your forearm, put it against the guy's helmet, and make him bounce his head off the turf. Now, it's hard because these guys are going in full speed or whatever.
In opposite directions.
Elbow to elbow, you can't take an elbow. You're going to tackle, you tackle him. He was sliding. He gave himself up for a slide already. Put your arms out and land on the guy. It would have been a flag anyway, personal foul, because he hit him. But if you put your arms out and didn't give him the forearm, he wouldn't get suspended. He wouldn't get fined like he is.
And I like the Texans because they have a cool logo. They do. Can't deny it.
Okay.
It's a cool logo.
That's it. That is a cool logo. The next game, the Colts, 25. The Patriots, 24. Colts pulled out this game.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it. I'm just glad the Patriots are losing.
I'm glad the Patriots are losing, too. The Colts, the kid who got benched for tapping himself out of the game, came back in. He won. The next game, the Chargers 17, the Falcons 13. There was something wrong in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins threw 4 interceptions.
Oof.
And it was bad. He threw to ghosts. I don't know who he was throwing. He's got a great offensive team with a lot of weapons. And when he goes down and when they give him any little pressure and he's got to change his position on where he's playing in the pocket, he's done. He has problems. They're in first place in their division, tied with Tampa, only because they beat Tampa. So
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that division is shitty. So they still got a shot, but it sucks that I didn't know that he was like that. I'm assuming what you're saying is true. Because
if you look at other quarterbacks in the league, that's what makes them super valuable, is the fact that if it's not there right away, they can make the right decision and not turn the ball over. Next game, I can't believe they won this game, and I'm so happy. The Seahawks 26, your Jets 21. The Seahawks...
I'm happy that the Jets are losing because of Aaron Rodgers. I tell you, every fucking Jet fan hates him. And I can't believe that he's like, I want to come back next year.
I don't know what else he could say.
I want to come back I want to come back next year, but I'm not playing for the Jets.
That's what he said?
Apparently.
Well, he's an idiot. They don't want him to play for the Jets either.
I'm not going to play with the Jets, but I am coming back next year. Who the hell is going to want him as a first stringer if he's known for being trouble and not being able to deliver when he is given what he wants, gets
the Panthers.
And I think that dude'd be nuts. I really do. I think that they'd be crazy to do it. He's not worth the money, and what's nuts is he's still going to be getting paid a good chunk of change. I can't believe he had a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
For an insane amount of money. Yeah. Was it like $80 million?
He was only MVP 2 years before he signed with the Jets.
I know that. And
he's not the same quarterback.
He's not the same quarterback. And after this, who the hell is going to pay him big money? I don't know. But he can't move. It's obvious he can't move like he did. It's obviously he's not throwing the way he did. So I don't know. Anyway, fuck him.
The Saints.
Hey, I like the Saints right now, just as they are.
I know.
Really? You think that Rodgers would do better than their existing quarterback right now for the Saints?
I think it's not a cold weather team. I think they're on turf. I think they're a fast team. I think they're in a dome. I think it's more conducive for Rodgers. I'm not saying it's great, but I'm just saying they have weapons.
You know, I don't know. I just like to talk.
Geno Smith came back in and beat the Jets this week with the Seahawks, and it was so great. Mm-hmm. And he's the one who came back because the Jets were up in this game.
Yeah.
Next game, my lowly Titans, who might take Aaron Rodgers if they had a chance. My lowly Titans, 17. The Commanders finally get back 42.
The Commanders really sucked the week before, didn't they?
Yeah, it's been a rough ride for them. Not sure why. They finally did what I said they should do, is let him pass the ball. McLaurin had a great game. They pulled back. Once he had that hurt rib situation, and when they started losing, they pulled back and didn't let him scramble a lot. But we'll see what happens. He's still a rookie. People forget. When you get hot like that at the very beginning and you're a rookie, you got to give him a chance.
They also get to figure him out the more they see him play.
Yeah.
So...
Next game was a shocker, and Vegas and everybody else had it wrong too. The Steelers, 44. The Bengals, 38 in Cincinnati. The Steelers are winning. The Steelers don't care. The Steelers don't care if it looks good or bad. Russell Wilson, they lost to the Browns the week before on Thursday night, and which is why we lost the tease on a Thursday night before we even started.
Did everything else?
No, it was horrible. We didn't even go over that week because it was 2.5 weeks ago. We're not going over the 2 weeks.
All right, that's fine. But I didn't win any of the other ones?
No, we lost. We missed 2 each.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Tomlin is the shit. He's got a winning season again already. They never get a losing season.
I really
They're so
respect them.
spoiled, these Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Brian might turn into a Steeler fan and dump the Jets after a while.
I am. I'm never going to dump the Jets because trust me, if I do, actually, maybe I should because they'd probably turn it around as soon as I dump them. But Steelers, I'm going hard for this year. Tomlin, I'm a big fan of. Russell Wilson, how do you not want to root for a comeback?
I root for Russell Wilson.
I know, but he's on the Steelers.
I know, but I'm rooting for him to have a really good game.
Yeah.
And something happens.
And he's going to go somewhere else. He's not can't have a long contract. He was a backup quarterback, right?
No, this year he came in to fight for the starting job. Yeah.
Okay, he came in to fight for it. But
and he won it.
Okay, so he won it in preseason.
Justin Fields was the starter at the beginning of the season because Russell Wilson had a calf injury. He started the first 4 games or so, and they won. And then, as soon as Russell Wilson was ready to play, Tomlin said, I'm putting Russell Wilson as the starter. And everybody looked at him like he was crazy. And he said, that's it. Russell Wilson's my starter. And next thing you know, I think he's 5-1.
Now
4-1 or 5-1 right now. Since Russell Wilson is the starter, and since everybody said, I think Tomlin finally lost his mind. No, Tomlin has a winning record and is a genius.
Well, you got to respect him for sticking with Wilson, his starter, and talk about confidence, meaning like he's got confidence in him. It's got to give Russell Wilson a ton of confidence and a responsibility. Plus, it always helps to have somebody who's younger than you that is an absolute, as soon as you are having a shitty game, you're sitting because we got to back up. So that's going to make him work even harder. So I'm rooting for him all year. And if they end up winning the Super Bowl, I would be okay with it as long as they're playing someone who I hate.
Okay. You're right, except for this. Right now, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields both are winning quarterbacks this season. Who are they going to keep? The older guy next year or the younger guy who was still winning with them? The problem is the younger guy who was winning with them, I don't think their receivers like them very much because Russell Wilson just throws that moon ball we talked about a few years ago. He throws it up in the air and lets his receivers get a chance to play for it. The problem with that is, to me, it's becoming winter. That's not great for that moon ball because, number one, you can't see it, and number two, you might not be able to hold on to it. And those routes are a little bit different because you're slipping as you're going down the field. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
How old is Wilson?
Wilson's in his late 30s.
Late?
He's been around for a while.
Okay, he won a Super Bowl.
He won a
And
Super
I
Bowl,
want to
went
say
to
he won a Super Bowl in the last
8,
decade.
2, 10. So let's just say he's 36. I'm guessing.
Yeah, you're right. 36.
That's late for a quarterback.
It is late for a
Actually,
quarterback.
not anymore. I can't say that because Rodgers, Brady, Breeze.
But it is
But those
late.
are all-timers. But it is.
I would love to have him on the Jets because he wouldn't be too old. But we would never be able to get him. Because
next year.
At 40, we could pick him up.
I don't know if they trade him to the AFC Jets.
Probably
we'll
not.
See.
But
the Jets' problem this year, I'll be honest with you, is their defense. They can't stop anybody. They really can't stop anybody. They have this touted defense that can't stop anybody. But we're going backwards. Next game, Cardinals 22, the Vikings 23. The Vikings pulled that game out.
10-2, man.
They are playing well enough. They're not lighting it up. They're under the radar. They're a 10-2 team, and nobody's talking about them. They're one game back from Detroit. Just one. They're a 10-2 team. They scare me because they have the weapons. Their quarterback's a little whatever. He did play a good enough game and won the game, and he's an ex-Jet, you know.
But that's one of the reasons why I'm really happy that they're doing well.
Right. We're going to see how it plays out. Next game, the Rams 21, the Saints 14. You talked about your Saints a minute ago. There's something wrong in New Orleans. The Rams went on the road and beat them, and they're not that strong on defense.
Yeah, but the Rams are freaking good because they have, is that Herbert? Did I get it right this time?
Nope.
Damn it.
Stafford.
They're not good. 6-6.
They lost some pieces. When you win a Super Bowl like they did a few years ago, everybody goes to get that big check afterwards. So other teams go to take those players away. And then also, Aaron Donald, he retired. And he was their big, huge centerpiece of their defense. And they could rush with 4, which is getting a little technical. They could rush with 4 people, which means they could back up their safeties and back up their line if you had Aaron Donald on the field. He's just one of those guys. He's one of the greats. And he finally retired. Next game, I hated to see this result because the Panthers had a chance. Bucks 26, Panthers 23. I was rooting for the Panthers to pull it out so the Falcons could stay ahead, but nope. So the Bucks won 1, the Falcons lost 1, and now the Bucks are tied for first. Next game. All right, this game was crazy. Eagles 24, the Ravens 19. The Ravens seemed like they were stuck in the mud. They were just couldn't get it together. The Eagles played them well. The Eagles played defense well. They frustrated Jackson. They frustrated everybody. Travis Henry. They did. Their defense is coming around, and their offense is no slouch. So to score 24, the Ravens don't have a great defense, but now their defense is holding them in games, and their offense is fluttering. That was huge. That was huge because they were looking to try and contend for the division with the Steelers, and now they're 2 games back, I believe, at least. They're going to get in the playoffs, most likely. They're looking at where they're going to fit in the wild card. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, the Eagles look strong. I actually watched about half that game.
They do look strong. The next game was a blowout, but it just goes to show you that if the Bills can get first place in the AFC, and it has to go through Buffalo, I think the Bills got a great, great shot at going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Niners 10, Buffalo 35. Let's just say this. There was 20-plus inches of snow. It was snowing during the game. Josh Allen is wearing no glove. He's running around with that ball in the palm of his hand like it's no problem. Got these he doesn't care. This bad weather stuff, he doesn't care.
Right.
It was a crazy game.
It didn't
that
affect
flip back
him.
from Cooper. Josh Allen was playing back just in case he fumbled because of the weather. And Amari Cooper saw him and just kind of like nodded his head to him and flipped him the ball. And he ran to the pylon, reached out with that no-glove hand and scored that touchdown.
I saw the dive. I didn't see the play because I stopped watching the game.
It was a pass, and he ran in after the play just in case of a fumble.
Yeah.
And caught the ball. The ball was flipped to him, caught the ball, and ran in for a touchdown. So when it flicked to him, technically, he scored a receiving touchdown. And he caught the receiving touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, and he threw for a touchdown.
Wow. And let me ask you about McCaffrey. Was that his first game back?
No.
Okay.
It was like his third.
Okay. I think it was...
he hasn't played great.
Well, I saw one play. He hurt himself. I think it was... So Collinsworth, was he calling that game?
Yeah.
So he made it sound like it was maybe his first full game back or something, but he just felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God. And maybe 2 plays before that, he ran straight up the middle, got they said it was like barely a shoestring tackle. Otherwise he would have went right for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And 2 plays later, I think, or a few plays later, he was down and out. And I didn't watch much more of the game.
No, he's a game changer, but he's done.
He's done.
He's done. He just came back from the injury after the bye. I think it was like week 8.
Ugh.
So he's been playing for 3 weeks, but not fully. He played whatever it was. He was splitting time, whatever. This was his game, and he went down. He went down without being touched.
I know. He went down in the backfield, right?
It was devastating. Yeah.
It was just like, oh no.
And everybody, wow, and everybody kind of knew what it was the second it happened. So
I thought I knew, but I wasn't sure. That's why I wanted to ask you.
They said he was done for the year.
Ugh.
Last game of the week, Monday night, the Browns 32, the Broncos 41. Tommy's Broncos. Tommy's son of a... Tommy's Broncos 41.
Mm-hmm.
You like Bo Nix. You like the quarterback.
I like the Broncos. I don't know why.
I never really liked the Broncos, but the Broncos are playing well. I'm not delusional enough to think that the Broncos, even though they should have beat the Chiefs, are going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs in Kansas City because that's where they would have to go. So far, Kansas City and the Bills are locks for the playoffs. They've already won their divisions. We don't know what positions. The Broncos would be wild card, no matter what.
And the Broncos could beat Kansas City. Kansas City has shown us several times this year that they can lose to anybody.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe
not a lot of rookie quarterbacks going to the playoffs and play the same way against these teams. That's all it is. It's just one of those things.
I'm going to hope that they knock out Kansas City if they can even make it to in there.
So this week is going to be a crazy week of picks. We're just doing it real quick. Thursday night, the Packers on the road against the Lions. Yes, the Packers against the Lions. Division game.
Oof.
Lions are favored by 3.5. Lions did not look good last week in the division against Chicago, but they did win by 3. The Packers looked good against the Dolphins, but it was the Dolphins. The Dolphins who have offense and no defense. The Lions who have offense and no defense. It is on the road. It is in a dome. It is at the Lions.
Right. Oh, I'm going to pick the Lions. It's just
I'm picking the Lions on Thursday night.
You wouldn't pick against the Lions. You wouldn't, would you? And I get that.
I don't know. It all depends on who it is, but I don't think I would. Not this year. I'm just hoping. It's a Thursday night game. I'm hoping that the Lions come back. They both played on Thanksgiving, so they both have had a week. Nobody's on a short week. So we'll see what happens.
Are you going to watch the entire game even if they start to lose, the Lions? You're going to watch it?
Yeah. When they start to lose, I flick to something else and I put pause on it so that I can catch up, and then I watch it fast and a little fast forward to watch the score before I go back into it. I get so nervous.
I'm not going to tease this game, even though I want to.
I'm not teasing it either because it's a division rival and it's on a Thursday night. Next game, Browns at your favorite, or one of your favorites, the Steelers. Steelers are favored by 5.5 against the Browns.
I would go with the Steelers if they were given 9. So
okay, well, I'm going with the Steelers at home, and I'm teasing this game. So the Steelers just have to win against the Browns. The Browns have been playing well lately.
Yeah.
They beat the Steelers.
The Browns looked good when I saw them
2
play.
weeks ago on Thursday night.
I was
they
impressed.
beat the Steelers. So we'll see what happens.
What'd you say? What? They what?
The Browns beat the Steelers 2 weeks ago on Thursday night. Do you remember?
That's right.
But I think this is low for them. The Browns lost this past week. They scored a lot of points, but they lost in Denver. They're going back on the road, 2 weeks on the road in a row. I'm taking the Steelers. I'm teasing this first game. Your Saints, who you talk about, that don't want Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Minus 3.5. They're favored on the road against Aaron Rodgers' neighbor, the Giants. So it's the Saints at the Giants. The Saints minus 3.5. DeVito is still quarterback. And by the way,
so
Daniel Jones was cut, and the Vikings picked him up.
I think I don't know who to go for on this. It's a coin flip. You said that who's getting 3.5?
The Saints are giving 3.5 to the Giants.
To the
Giants are getting 3.5.
And they're in Giants Stadium.
In New York.
I'm going to go Giants on this one, and I'm going to tease it. So the Giants will be getting 9.5. Right?
I'm thinking about doing the same thing because I don't think that this is a good spread for picking the game. I think this is how the game is going to be. I think it's going to be within 3 each way, and I don't know which way. So if I don't...
So you go with the Giants getting?
I think I'm going with the Giants, and I think I'm... You know what?
Go Saints.
No, I'm... No,
What are you doing?
no.
What?
I'm going with the Giants.
Okay.
Just to win the game.
No tease.
I actually think they're going to win the game.
Okay.
I know they shouldn't, but I think they're going to win the game. I don't think the Saints are going to play good in the cold. They're a dome team. The Jets on the road at the mighty, mighty Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 6.5 against the Jets.
Easily, they could be 5-7, right? There were 2 games that they gave away. There's at least 2 games that they gave away, right?
At least 2.
So I'm going to go with the Jets on this because they're getting those points, and I'm going to tease this one as well. Let's give them another 6.
So you're saying 12.5?
Yes.
Wow.
That's the only way I'm going for the fucking Jets. If they have
I know.
double
I
against...
hate teasing anything with the Jets because they drive me crazy, so I'm not. But I am picking the Dolphins to win by 6.5. I'm just picking it. I hope they win by a touchdown. Jaguars on the road with a backup quarterback at the Titans. And the Titans are favored by 4.5.
Titans are favored by 4.5 in Tennessee. Is there
backup quarterback?
Did he do okay once?
No.
You're just shaking his head.
No. I'm just shaking my head.
He's not worth the damn, huh?
No. The thing is, no.
Well,
the Jaguars got a lot of talent, but...
All right, you know what? Just because you said that, I'm going to go with the Jaguars anyway. But I'm not going to spread it. But I'm not going to tease it. So
the fact of the matter is, how good do you think the Titans are? They're only favored by 4.5 against a backup quarterback. So that goes to show you something.
Right.
I'm just going to take the Titans in this game. That's it.
Yeah, they're your Titans. You should take them. I'm hoping that this guy's going to now come in. He didn't know he was going to be doing shit last week.
Right.
You know, so he comes
week.
in. He's going to have a whole week of prep of like, this is your job. We hired you for a reason.
I know.
Hopefully he's going to surprise somebody. We'll see.
Next game, scary game for me. The Falcons on the road against the mighty Minnesota Vikings offense. The Vikings are favored by 4.5. The Falcons are in a slump. The press and the news is talking about trying to see if they want to play Penix, who's their #1 draft pick, instead of Cousins, because there's something off with Cousins. I think Cousins is going to be ready to play because of all the news, but it's hard to go to Minnesota and play that team with that many weapons.
Yeah, I was definitely going to be going Minnesota. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I want to make it that they're getting half a point. That's what it would be, right?
4.5. It would be Minnesota getting half a point, which means basically
nothing. They just have to win.
Means an even game, yeah.
Right. I'm going to go Minnesota.
Minnesota.
And I'm going to do a tease.
Oh, you're teasing.
So that's my third.
I'm taking the Vikings. My heart's telling me not to because the Falcons usually win games that they're not supposed to win. But I'm taking the Vikings. I'm not teasing it because if they win, I'm not going to be mad if they ruin my tease. So I'm just taking the Vikings because I really think that they are a little bit better team than the Falcons right now. They shouldn't be, but they are. This is a revenge game for Cousins because he did get dropped by the Vikings. Next game, Panthers at the Eagles. Yeah. This is Brian's favorite game. So the Eagles are favored by 12.5.
I was about to say, they've got to be. And
in Philly.
And they have been, Carolina has been close a couple of times, 3 times against
Chiefs?
good teams. Like within less than 3, probably, right?
The Chiefs and Tampa. Tampa was 4. The Chiefs was a 2-point game or a 3-point game.
Okay, well, Tampa's not, I mean, but I thought there was another better
Tampa's
team
a division game,
played.
and they played at home. They played in Carolina.
Right. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the Eagles on this, just straight up. They're given 12.5.
Yeah.
You know, I can't go with Carolina, even if you teased it. You could give the Eagles
Up
10.
or down,
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
No,
it doesn't matter,
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to tease it to 6.5. I think the Eagles will win by a touchdown.
All right.
Okay. Raiders on the road against the Bucks. Bucks are favored by 6.5 in Tampa. Raiders put up a fight.
Yeah. So was
should have won against the fumble against Kansas City.
Could they? I mean, they're going to be. That's got to say something when you go from week to week. Not only it's not even really so much that they should have won, but when you play so well against a team that's so much more, because they are a superior team.
The defense played them well, and they lost by 2. They held them to under 20. Kansas City to under 20 in Kansas City. That's an accomplishment.
I'm going to go Raiders. Would you say the spread was
6.5
that the Raiders are getting?
Yes.
Make it 12.5, baby.
You and I are doing opposite teases on this.
All right.
This should be my last tease. I'm looking at this mostly for the first time. I'm just doing it as a half a point. So if the Bucks win, I cover. I'm taking the Bucks. I believe in the quarterback, man. I think that Cleveland screwed up. I think that Cleveland should have never got rid of him. I think that they regret it with all the stuff that's going on right now.
Oh, that's right.
Baker Mayfield.
That's right.
They got rid of him for Watson. Watson hasn't done squat for them. He went to Carolina. Carolina got rid of him for Young. I get it. You took a younger guy, whatever. But Baker Mayfield never showed anything except for toughness. I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield against everybody except for the division. And I can't believe them. I think they're going to win the game no matter what.
I like
so I
Baker
might as well
Mayfield.
just take the tease.
Yeah.
So next game, this is a tough game for me because I don't really know where to pick. The Seahawks on the road against the Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by 2.5. Seahawks on the road. This is first place in the division. This is possibly a playoff position because that division, the Niners fell off. The Rams, they're in it still. They're a game back. But the Seahawks and the Cardinals really are the ones fighting for first place. Cardinals lost last week. Seahawks won. This week, they're playing each other. This could be a 2-game lead.
Right. I want to go Seahawks because I want the Seahawks to win. So I'm just going to go with my heart. When you said the spread was?
Cardinals are favored by 2.5. And it's a tough game. My heart is with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks.
I'm taking the Seahawks. I'm worried about Kyler Murray running all over the place on these guys, but they have a pretty decent defense. They have a pretty decent offense. I don't think they're lighting it up and blowing anybody out, but I think they're in games. I said this is the second game in a row though that they're on the road, so we'll see. They just went to the Jets, emotional game that they won, and now they're going back on the road. But once again, this is now almost playoff time. This is for the positioning to get in the playoffs, and if they get a division lead, that means the Seahawks get a home game for the playoffs.
I've always liked the Seahawks.
I always like the Seahawks. They're one of my favorites of all time. And I'm hoping. And why? Because they have cool helmets. Anyway.
They do.
Next game. The Bears on the road against the Niners. I do not understand the spread on this game. The Bears have not won. They have a new coach, which is their offensive coordinator that got promoted, so that Williams doesn't have too much of a problem learning something new this week with a different head coach.
Right.
And because they fired the head coach, and the Niners are favored by 5.5, and they just lost McCaffrey. It is in San Francisco, but seriously, I don't know. The Bears have lost a lot in a row, but I don't consider them terrible. They should have won that game last week against Detroit, who's got all the weapons in the world. You don't think? And this defense is supposed to be pretty good. I don't know. This is a confusing spread where Vegas knows something I don't. Because
the Bears are getting points?
Because the Bears are getting 5.5 against a team that just lost their heart and soul, Christian McCaffrey, for the season.
Right. I'm going to tease this game, so then the Bears are getting 11.5.
Yeah, it's a crazy spread.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to pick the Bears with their firing head coach, new coach, bump that they talk about, and everybody's going to be concentrating and playing for jobs next year. I don't know if the Niners are going to rally around Purdy and a season-ending injury to Christian McCaffrey. Next game, the Bills, -3.5 on the road against the Rams. They're the ones with Stafford, Bri.
No.
The Rams. Yes, the Rams are the ones with Stafford.
Yeah.
Don't say no.
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
So
Every
the Rams with Matthew Stafford are home against the Bills. The Bills are favored by 3.5.
That's I'm gonna go Bills definitely on that, and only because I've got confidence in them a lot more than Stafford or at least Allen.
I'm taking the Bills. I don't know if this game means as much to them, but I'm taking the Bills because I know they already pretty much locked up their division, but they are going for first place in the AFC. So we'll see what happens. I don't see how the Rams can hold up to them with what he's doing. Right now, Josh Allen is the MVP of the league. He's going to win the MVP probably unless something happens. He's pretty close.
Yeah, who's the next in line? Obviously not Kansas City Mahomes, but
no,
who?
Not even close.
Not even close.
Saquon Barkley, maybe. They were talking about Jackson, but he's losing too much. So who else is it? They were talking about Goff, but no, he's got a lot of weapons there, whatever. I really think Josh Allen is the MVP, more or less because he lost Stephon Diggs, and they said, oh, my God, it's going to be a down year for the Bills because they lost their biggest deep threat. And he's playing with everybody. He's got touchdowns all over the board to every single person. People get hurt. It doesn't matter. He throws it to the tight end. He gets hurt. He throws it to the backup tight end. He throws it to his receiver. He gets hurt. Shakir, he throws up to the backup receiver. He throws to anybody. The running backs, Cook, everything. And he's doing it himself. He's running. There's no pressure anymore on him. I think last year he was trying to force the ball to Diggs. And that's what a lot of people are saying. When you have a superstar who's mouthing in your ear in the huddle all the time, just, give me the ball. I'm open. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. And he's like, shut up. The play's not to you. Like, we'll get it to you, but not right now. And if he's doing it every play and problem, now you just got guys like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm throwing to you. If you're not open, I'm throwing to you. Okay. All right, break. And that's it. That takes a lot of pressure off of you. Yeah. He's having a stellar season. I probably just jinxed him, and he's going to throw 7 interceptions or whatever.
We'll see. But that's the way it should be because all these people are in positions, if they can catch the ball and get open, they should get thrown to.
Yeah, I think that the Bills should have this easily. The spread is deceiving, but I think they do.
Yeah, Bills all day.
Next game, the Chargers.
I know the Chargers. They've got Herbert. And they're playing the Chiefs. And they should be
on the road.
They should be getting
in Kansas City.
They should be getting 5.
They get 3.5.
Okay, they should be getting 5. So tell Vegas that they're wrong.
Oh, wait, let me call
by a point and a half.
I got him.
I am taking.
Let me tell Tony in Vegas. Hey, Tony.
The Chargers all day, and I'll say, and I'm not going to tease it because you know what? Next week I'm going to start doing parlays.
Okay, no teases, just parlays.
Yes.
Good.
All right, so
next week
Chargers
we'll
Chiefs
do a 3-game parlay.
3-game parlay.
That's it.
Bam, easy.
We'll just do a 3-game parlay.
Of course, yes.
And we'll do it together. See, or because we may have the same because some of them are going to be close, but we'll see.
I think
we'll do separate.
Yeah, I think we should do separate.
Fine.
Place bet separate through.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Through our friend. Anyway, so you have.
I have the Chargers, and
you think they're going to keep winning a field goal?
Yeah, and I do. Well, I'm hoping. This is the hope because I did watch. There's not many games I watched like full games,
right?
And I did watch the Chargers play and forget who the hell it was, but I was very impressed with overall that week. But what the hell do I know? So I'm hopeful that the Chiefs are going to lose because I just want them to lose again.
I am taking the Chiefs in this because it's a division game and they're at home. Chargers are a California team. I don't know. The way the weather's been lately, I'm expecting snow everywhere. So I'm just looking at this game saying, I think the Chiefs somehow are going to pull this out because this is the way they are right now. I think the Chiefs are going to lose to a shit team one more time this year, hopefully. But I think they're going to win this because it's division and they gear up for this. That's all it is.
Yeah, me is more hope, but yeah.
The last game of the week, Monday night, the Bengals are on the road. Bengals, by the way, I'm pretty sure they're statistically out of the playoffs completely now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they lost again.
Mm-hmm.
But their offense
is lighting it up. They are scoring so many points and losing.
Every time. They're averaging 30-something points a game.
Yeah.
The quarterback is killing it. It doesn't matter.
And for that reason, I'm going to go Bengals. And I don't even know what the spread is.
Bengals are -5.5.
They are
on the road to the Cowboys. The Cowboys haven't done shit.
That's bullshit.
But
that is
within one touchdown only.
It still to me seems like it's bullshit. Because look at their records. I mean, damn it. They've got a worse record.
They have no
They're
defense.
On the road. The Bengals have no defense because
they've been losing every game because no matter what.
I know.
How can they're blaming the quarterback, Burrow, but he's not on defense.
No.
You can't blame the guy for scoring.
Unless he's doing turnovers.
No, he fumbled the ball last week. A strip sack. But guess what? If you let the offensive line come, lets him come in and get a strip sack, it happens.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean, if it's only one,
he's not turning the ball
happens.
over. He's not turning the ball over 17 times for the season. Aaron Rodgers is throwing pick six after pick six after pick six.
Yeah.
These other guys are throwing pick six. Will Levis is Joe Burrow is throwing 60-yard touchdowns every other week to Jamar Chase. What do you want him to do? And T. Higgins and everybody else on the team, what do you want him to do? He's putting them in positions to win, and they can't stop anybody.
Right.
So I have to believe that the Bengals are going to win. I really wanted this to be my last tease, but I don't know how many teases I have, and I really just want to win a tease right now. So
it's not over. You always got. Actually, you don't have next week. There's no more teases, or maybe for the rest of the season. Who knows?
Okay, so you know what? No more teases. My last tease. I may do a tease and a parlay.
Dude.
My last tease is the Bengals just to win the game over the Cowboys in Dallas. They have to beat Dallas. Dallas is a backup quarterback. They have no running game to play with. They really suck. And I hate the Cowboys. This is a bet with my heart more than anything else because the Cowboys should lose. Son of a bitch. They won on Thanksgiving. They got 10 days off. I don't give a damn it. You know what? They're at home. Who cares? The Bengals are going to win the game.
And you're doing it with a tease.
I'm doing it with a tease.
And if I had to bet, since the Cowboys are getting points, and I did tease it, and I'm going to go again, I'm going to give the points to Dallas, even though I want the Bengals to win. They're getting, you said 5.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an 11.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, and what the hell? Even though I won't give a shit either way, really.
Right.
Because I'd be fine if the Bengals kick the snot out of them and I lose the tease. I'm already thinking about just the parlays next week.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I'm doing it.
Okay. Well, way to commit to this week. It's okay. All right. I have to go to a cancer recital right now, so later.